Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. Two T's in a pod. I'm Tony.
And I'm Tralana.
And as you can see, we are on Tralana's birthday extravaganza here at the wonderful, what is this place? Comfort Inn and Suites. We have a very snazzy couch behind us. Included in the price, if you could believe it. And this is what?
Nothing. Keep going.
It's a beautiful couch. And this is Tralina's big birthday blowout extravaganza.
Said that already.
I know. It's worth saying twice. It's actually her birthday today.
Right now,
as we speak.
We're
recording this a little later than usual, and it's going to be uploaded depending on hotel Wi-Fi. I hope it gets out tonight. And we're using a little bit, another piece of new equipment. Part of Tralana's birthday gift from me is this wonderful new camera that is quite nicer than the other one. She doesn't fucking care. I don't even know why I bought it.
I do care.
I don't even know why I bought it.
I do care. What do you mean?
Because you can't tell. I basically bought it for me through you, so that if we use it for podcasting, it's going to look better.
I can tell the difference.
Can you though?
Yes.
Well, joke's on you. That's the old camera.
Okay.
No, it's not. That's the new camera. I lied.
I know it's the new camera. I know what the old camera looks
like.
What do you mean?
The box is also right here. So happy birthday.
Thanks.
Are we saying how old you are?
I don't care.
Okay. Well, some people are fucking weird about that. I don't know.
I mean, I would care if I looked my age.
We should take guesses.
Well,
people should guess how old you are.
People that know me know how old I am.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Both of our sisters would be able to easily comment the correct age.
Correct. Yes. Well, Tralana is the big 40 today.
Yikes.
And she's feeling it. She's feeling it.
Well.
Do we want to tell people why you're feeling it?
So what had happened was, part of my birthday extravaganza, I like to dance.
She does. And
so I made Tony go with me to a bar here where we are that is like, I don't know, wannabe dance club, whatever. And they have like little, it's not like a cage, but like
it's a poor man's cage.
Yeah. There's like 4 bars. It's a poor man's cage. And so I was dancing in the cage. What was that face?
Nothing.
Was it not dancing? Like,
oh, it was dancing.
What was the face?
It was dancing.
What was the face indicative of?
It was dancing. You were dancing.
We'll revisit this off air. Anyways, and so I don't even like. What do you want me to say? Or just that I was dancing and then?
Well, you were dancing like a crazy person.
What do you mean, like a crazy person?
Well, that came out wrong. You were dancing like I should have brought a wad of singles with me.
Yeah.
Like she was. Don't get me wrong, it was great, but it was, and I'm here for the fun. As long as you're having fun, I'm having fun. I even danced, and I don't dance.
He did.
Yeah, but I did because I knew if I didn't, you would have been very upset if I didn't.
I mean, I was very happy that you did.
Yeah, well.
But it was not an expectation.
Well, when you're drunk, I think that line gets blurred in your brain. Like expectations versus reality. Because you weren't going to take no for an answer from anybody.
I mean.
Even your friend. I mean, you were just like, but to be fair, she should have been up there dancing.
Yeah.
And she did. She did end up getting up there. And so did her boyfriend, which was fun. But I'm all about silly goose times. I love having a good time, and I'm glad you had a good time. But it seemed like nobody else at that bar knew what a good time was.
How to dance?
Yeah, but even the dancing is very subjective.
Well, no. But I meant like even to try. I didn't mean like a particular kind of dance or like what. I just mean like
In
nobody
general.
else wanted to get up and move their body
Right.
in any dance fashion.
Right. The guy who had back surgery and is crying when he gets up in the morning. I was out there dancing. But these people, but then you said, the tone.
Yeah.
She was out there by herself
All the
in
time.
a cage,
Yep.
just dipping and riding, and I'm not doing it justice, obviously, but in her heels and her pleather pants, and she's just got a sash, and she's a fucking living her best life, and everybody's just sitting there. It's like you've got a DJ, you've got music,
Yeah.
bunch of young people. There was a young crowd,
Way younger than
way
me.
younger than us, and everybody just sitting around and moping. The table next to us, it was so sad. And this is what's wrong with I'm gonna go on a rant because
go ahead.
this I noticed this and I didn't bring this up to you. We're a bunch of old people, okay? We've come to grips with it.
Yep.
I've been wrestling with that demon for years. I'm getting old. You're getting old. I'm glad we're getting old together, and I have somebody to get old with, and all those things. So it's less of a blow to me than it used to be, because I used to hate the thought of getting old. One of my worst, and I've told you this, whenever I see that old guy at the bar with like a fucking Margaritaville t-shirt and flip-flops on with a fucking Corona, drunk off his ass, probably, retired, I get it. He's having a good time, but I think that's trashy. I do. I think that's wrong, and it irritates me whenever I see that. Conversely, when I'm sitting at a table, I'm the old guy, and there's a table next to us full of young people, and this is them the whole time. No, it's upside down. Sorry. That's it. On their phone. On their phone. You can't hear anything, so I don't know what the fuck you could be doing on your phone. But it's like, why are you here? Is it just to be out? But why waste the money? Why, if you're gonna sit on your phone, do it at home. And kids, and I say kids, the one dude was probably in his mid to late 20s, and he's just sitting there fucking on his goddamn phone, and it hurt me. Because he should be doing what you're doing. Not that you shouldn't be doing what you're doing, but he should be out there dancing and fucking doing the Tootsie Roll or whatever they're doing now. And they're not.
Yeah.
It wasn't until later in the night.
Everybody had to get a little liquored
Everybody
up.
had to get a little booze, and I get it. But later in the night, people started to open up and dance. But it was in like spurts. Like, 1 second, it's dead. Then there's 7 people on the floor. And you know what was constant the whole time? This one right here. Fucking sun up to sundown. Soon as we got into that bar and she got her basically cup of tequila, that wasn't no tequila sunrise.
Well, that bartender knows
Yeah,
me, and
she knew the bartender. So
she promised me a drink for my birthday.
I took a sip of it and I almost threw up. I couldn't do it.
It was a little rough.
Too much. But you,
especially since that wasn't my first or only drink of the night.
I was just gonna say, I was like,
So
we'd been drinking previous.
A bottle of tequila to end the night was not
but
the best. But.
The bright side was not that I have a problem with buying you oodles and oodles of drinks, but it's kind of nice when you're wearing a birthday sash and people are buying you drinks. That's like, fucking go right ahead, please.
It was all the bartenders.
I know.
It wasn't like other people.
You didn't drink anything else at that bar. You got a cup of basically tequila with a splash of orange juice and grenadine, and you drank half of it, and that was probably half too much.
Oh, yeah, for sure. for sure.
But yeah, it was a good time though.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy your birthday?
Yeah, I did.
Did you enjoy your all of our excursions? Well, you planned all the excursions.
I was gonna say I orchestrated my entire birthday weekend. Well, because like you don't live here, so you wouldn't know like where.
See, a lot of people might do things opposite the way we do
Well,
them.
I hope that it is the opposite in the future.
Oh yeah, well yeah, for sure.
Like it's just this year with
It's hard for
circumstances being as they are,
Right.
like
it's one of the
not like yeah, so I had to plan everything for this weekend, and then for your birthday weekend you'll have to
Right.
plan everything.
it's one of those drawbacks of
a long
a long distance thing that is kind of like the underlying theme of the podcast. And that's one that is kind I don't know, I wouldn't say a new development. We knew this going into your birthday and stuff, but you know, most couples, you know, the significant other plans the birthday stuff.
Yeah, and the birthday person
And the
just
birthday
gets to
person
sit
just
back
sits
and
back and enjoys it.
Yeah.
And it will be that way in the future, but
Yeah.
for this, you know, like Tralana said, I don't fucking know anything around here. I've barely just met most of your friends.
Well, this weekend
alone
really was because prior to this weekend. So traditionally, and I know we've mentioned this before, but like for anybody that hasn't seen those episodes or whatever, I usually go out to Chicago to visit Tony because it's just simpler that way. So like what, this is your third time coming to Pennsylvania?
Fan Expo,
one other weekend, this,
and then yeah.
So this is your third time coming here. So Fan Expo, we were in Philly, and we were at a Comic-Con, so you didn't meet any of my friends or
Correct.
family or anything. The next time, like when you actually came here, then I introduced the majority of my family and my best friend. So, but then that was it because again, like it's just long weekend situations. It's not like we have like tons of time to whatever. And that would be the only thing that I could say that's like a negative about my birthday is that I had to like, because I wanted to cram so many things into this weekend. I don't feel like we had time to just be together because it was constantly like on the go, like from the minute, you know, from go.
Yeah, we've been on the gas since I got here.
Yeah.
Well,
so
my grandfather is not doing too great currently, and Tralana was very supportive and kind enough to come out to Chicago last week. So we did have some time.
That would be like
before, but but once we got to road trip out here, which was fun.
No, and that's what I was just gonna say, like that would be the silver lining. Like obviously, like I don't want to say I don't wish ill on your grandfather by any means, but the silver lining to that situation is that I did come out there on Wednesday, and then we got to do our first road trip together because, well, I mean, like for Fan Expo, he picked me up at my house,
it was
like an hour and a half, not even 2 hours, I don't think. So that's the only road trip that we've ever done together because otherwise, traditionally, either we're traveling separately to one destination or one of us is going to the other. So like we never get to travel together. Even when we went to Florida, we both, you know, separately went there and separately came home. So like this was actually really neat to get to road trip together. Although you just slept when I was driving.
I did sleep a few hours. It was great.
But
I was gonna die.
Yeah, no. It was, we barely got any sleep. Like it was, and yeah, so it was like crazy. But I was excited, like I said, like about this weekend that all the things, because also like I had you do things, like all the things that Giuseppe and I have traditionally done over the years. And that was something that came up at my birthday dinner tonight. Like we were playing a game, like, you know, how well do you know me with my best friend and her family. And like one of the questions was, something about, was it courage or bravery or something? Like, what's the most courageous thing I've ever done or the bravest thing I've ever done?
Yeah, most courageous.
Whichever one. Yeah. And I was having a hard time like thinking, you know, I mean, because like I do a lot of things, but I wouldn't consider any of them very courageous or brave necessarily. It's just things, you know, that I do. Like, because even like parasailing came across my mind, but like that wasn't, to me, that's not
It
scary.
is
So
to
like to
me.
somebody else it might be,
I
but
would never
like
do
for
that
me
shit.
it wasn't. So like I was trying to think of like what I would consider, and my best friend actually was like raising, Giuseppe by myself, because I've been a single mom for, well, he'll be 13, so 12 years basically. And even prior to that, like his dad wasn't, like he traveled for work. So even when we were together, we weren't together. Like I've done the whole thing by myself. So, so yeah, so like I thought that was neat that she said that. And so like for me, that's what this weekend really like meant to me, was like bringing you into that, because like when we come out to Chicago, like we do, whatever random things, out there, but like this was like me getting to bring you into like Giuseppe and I's traditions, because like I've been taking Giuseppe, like I took Tony to the aquarium and whatever, and I've been taking Giuseppe there, I don't even know, forever. And like he has his little stuffed hippo from when he was little, and he used to take that to the aquarium, and they have hippos there. I just hit the mic. And whatever. And so like that was the whole thing, and we got to show Tony that. So like it was kind of like us letting him into like the world that has been just him and I for the last 13 years. So for me it was very special to get to include Tony in all of those things. Like we went and did a corn maze, and like it was just like all of our little traditions that we do at this time of year, that's usually just Giuseppe and I. And like so it was very special to me to get to have Tony be a part of that.
And
Yeah.
I destroyed that corn maze, obviously.
Obviously. That's in your car. I have to get that. So
Oh,
when
yeah, it is.
at the corn maze, like you can take like a map, and then the map is blank, and you have to find all the puzzle pieces to like make yourself a map of the corn maze. And then there's like kernels of knowledge, like that's like a quiz about, like a crossword, I mean, about whatever the theme is. And then at the end, if like you just pay like $5 and get a picture of you at the end of the maze, and then they laminate all of it together. So I was gonna say I should have shown it like as our
Yeah, it's in my car.
I should have like had you pull up the pictures to like show, not like all the pictures, but you know what I mean, like that picture particularly of us holding the thing at the end of the maze. But oh well. Anyway.
I mean, one of these days. Maybe the next podcast.
Sure.
Um,
Which activity was the most fun for you to do out of all the random crazy things that we did this weekend? What would your top thing be?
What was the most fun?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, probably the corn maze.
Really?
Well, not specifically the corn maze, but the other, like all the other activities, because there was other things, like all the little things, like
so the place that we go it's a farm, and so obviously, and so
it's got all of the newest Amish games available.
No, so it's like there's like a section where it's what are those things even called? Where you like hit the thing and try and ring the bell? What's that called?
Like the strongman.
The strongman thing. They have like different levels of that. So like we played around with those. Obviously, he made the bell ring on the tallest one. I could not. But so he did that, and then there was like a ball thing where like they have every type of sport, like football, baseball, soccer, whatever, and then they have like holes on like the wall, like far away from you, and you have to try and like
it basically
do all the
every
things.
DIY version of a carnival game you could think of.
Yes.
Which I think is kind of cool.
It is. And then they have like a pillow thing in the ground that's like a trampoline, but it's like a big like pillow thing. I don't know what it's really called, but so just up like jumping on that.
Yeah, it was and it's free. Well, it's not free.
Well, it's all free with admission.
Yeah, it's included in the admission. So like, if we went to a carnival, well, but there's no prizes. That's the other thing. It's
there's
just
no
you just play the game.
You just have fun.
Like you just go up, you can shoot baskets, you can throw a football and do a net thing, you can throw a baseball, and it's like all of those games are at carnivals, and you got to pay what, $20 for a couple of tickets.
Yeah,
and it's like it's the same thing though, but the DIY version, which is fine.
Yeah. And
Um,
they have like hay bales like that the kids can climb on. It is a farm, so like they have on the farm side, they have like pig races, and then they have like the baby chicks in the spring, obviously, like
mm,
and whatever. And like they have goats that you can feed. We didn't do that stuff, but
no.
they have like goats you can feed. They have, I don't know, all kinds of stuff that you can like
The,
feed and touch and whatever, farm animal it up.
and then we did the train ride, which was fun,
Yeah, that was separate though, but yes.
but it's still,
Yeah,
it was all
in that
inclusive of
day.
that
Yes.
day.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know, they had a coal powered 100-and-something-year-old train.
Yes. I took Tony back in time.
Yeah, and it was beautiful.
That was one of my favorite things.
Yeah, because, and I told you while we were on the train, it's like this train was built 120 years ago.
Yeah.
And it is more beautiful than any train you'll ever get on. I mean, and it's like straight out of that era. Nothing's changed.
No.
It's all wood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were in like
The parlor.
we were in the parlor car, which was the nicer car, air conditioned.
One of the first class cars. Yes.
Yes. Beautiful seats, upholstered seats. Everything was, looked like it was built to last and built sturdy. And then I compare that to like riding the Metro.
Oh gosh.
And with all of our advancements in technology and all the strides we've made, technologically, I look at them side by side. And if I had my choice, I would ride that 120-year-old train
every day.
Every day. In fact, if I could ride that to work, I would actually go to the office.
Yeah.
But then it occurred to me that the reason we can't have things like that is because people will destroy them.
For sure.
We can't have nice things like that because a bunch of fucking punk asses will come on and graffiti it and tear up the upholstery and stuff. And then it starts to make sense why all of our shit is disposable and garbage and we can't have nice things.
Yeah. And actually, go off of that, one of the things that fell through for this weekend that we didn't get to do is like I have a whole 40th birthday photo shoot planned and it got bumped. So like we have to do it in like 2 weeks when Tony comes to his first Penn State football game. There's my Penn State. His first Penn State football game, we're going to do the photo shoot and actually we're doing it at the train station. So I can't wait to see how those pictures turn out and hopefully whenever we get them and all the things, we can share. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, we can share some of the pictures so that people can see. Plus then they'll get to see the trains.
Right.
But yeah, so that's something. So the train ride was special to me because again, like Giuseppe loved Thomas Train when he was little and they do a thing every year where they have an actual Thomas Train and Percy and Mavis, like whatever, if you know Thomas. So they have all of that stuff and you can go and actually do a little train ride on those trains. And so I've been taking Giuseppe since he was like 2 over and doing the train rides because he was obsessed with the trains. And I always bought the combination ticket, which you got to ride Thomas and then you got to ride like the real train like we rode. And so like that's why, like I said, like these were all things that were very special to me that Giuseppe and I have been doing for ever since he was old enough to do them. And so like I got to include Tony in that, which was very meaningful and special to me, like because that's all stuff that's very sentimental to me because it's just Giuseppe and I. Like I'm not the type of person to include other people in the things that I do. Like I'm very, I don't know, like a loner or independent or however you would want to word that, but I don't like even my friends, like I don't take my friends with Giuseppe and I. It's not like we do like a group thing. Like it's literally always just Giuseppe and I. So having Tony there was very special and meaningful to me because it was like my way of letting him into like our traditions and our world. So
it was also very reminiscent for me because growing up, Nicholas more so than Ian, but they both kind of were, but Nicholas was obsessed with Thomas and every toy that we bought that kid was Thomas the train from, I don't know, maybe 2 to 5 or 6.
So I hope he doesn't watch this if it does post tonight before you get home and give it to him. But so because I've been taking Joseph every year since he was 2, every year they come out with a day out with Thomas special edition wooden train that has that year on it. And then I also would get, because the wooden track pieces, I would get a laser engraved track piece that said Giuseppe's Day Out with Thomas 2000, whatever year it was. So while we were there, I didn't buy the track piece this year, but I bought both Giuseppe and Nicholas the Day Out with Thomas train that says 2022 to like commemorate like this year, that even though Nicholas couldn't be here with us to do the train ride and all of that, like at least I thought it would be neat for him to get the little Thomas train.
I'm sure it'll be very cherished.
Ring some bells.
Sitting in a drawer somewhere.
I don't care.
I'm sure he will take such good care of that.
Wow.
Sentimental, that beautiful gesture, that gift that you're going to get him. And he's going to take it and he's going to say thank you. And he's going to turn around and he's going to shove it in a drawer.
Under his bed.
Underneath 6 Coke Zero cans and a pile of chicken bones.
It's fine. It's the thought that counts. I know.
Yes.
It was sentimental.
And I'll remember it. So
I think my favorite thing though, not that I didn't love like all the things obviously, but I think my favorite was when so the aquarium that Giuseppe and I go to has a lot of things that you can touch, like, which is why it's my favorite, because there are other aquariums that are closer to my house than the one that I took Tony to. But that aquarium, like, you can touch everything. So you can pet a shark, you can pet a stingray, you can pet like starfish and stuff that doesn't move, like horseshoe crabs. They just walk around a little bit. They're not intimidating.
I beg to differ.
To normal, non-scaredy cats.
They're walking cockroaches.
They are pretty gross.
Disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, it just feels like you're touching the shell. Like, I mean, it's just a shell. Like,
oh, we're talking about the
horseshoe
crabs?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're okay. But their eyes are like on the top of their...
Yeah,
it's
that's
so
kind of weird and gross.
They look weird.
But so my favorite was...
People eat those.
Yeah, that's weird. My favorite was watching Tony pet the shark and the stingray because, like, I don't know, Giuseppe had to like walk him through it. So it was super cute.
I just... These hands are very important to me.
Well, yes.
They're important to both of us.
Yeah.
And I'm very frightened of like things like that. Because, okay, so these sharks, they're like this big. They're not that big.
They're not that little.
They're about that big.
What do you, what?
That big.
No, they're not.
Whatever. They're not that big, is my point.
They're like 2 feet long. What are you talking about?
That wasn't that long.
Yes, it is. Men don't know
I
sizes.
mean, maybe, yes, I do. I'm well aware of sizes. Maybe if you like, I'm just thinking in terms of like the main part of the body. Like the tail might come out and it might be super, yeah, like that's what I'm talking about. Like I'm not talking about this whole fucking tail nonsense. That's not what I'm talking. I'm not worried about the tail. I'm just talking about the actual from head to ass, not including the big long tail. It's about this big.
No, that's not true.
Look at that. It's about that big.
I feel like
they're not gonna. No, that's you can't. You can't see that.
They can see it. They can see that it's more than what
It's
you're
not.
showing.
Just look. Just what kind of shark was it?
I don't know.
Doesn't even know. Okay.
That's not what's important.
We're losing focus of what I'm talking about here. Can I get
to your point?
Can I get the train back on track?
Sure.
So I understand that these sharks do this every day. They have people touching them. They're probably acclimated to it. They're probably 99.99% of the time they're docile. They're accommodating. I'm sure some kids probably do squeeze and do something, and the shark just goes, "Nah, fuck," and walks away. Well, not walks away, but
swims away.
It would be my luck that the one day we go to the fucking aquarium is the day that this shark is having a bad week, and I go, first time ever, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, I guess. And I go and I touch it, and it goes, not today. And it turns around and rips my fingers off. That would be my luck.
Well, okay, so to be fair, not that that couldn't happen anytime, but they do look for signs that the sharks are agitated from touching and small children and all things. And they do have an employee always watching over, not that that can like prevent the shark from doing anything,
It's
but like
less than a second.
right.
It's gotcha.
But they have them watching, and if they see any signs of agitation, like foreboding,
Oh yeah, this
then
fucking sideshow Bob looking guy on his phone really looked like he was paying the utmost attention to everybody.
anyways, I've seen it before. I've been there 1,000 times, and I've seen it before where like the sharks will start to like bob up and down in the water, and then they kick everybody out of that area because they're like, nope, the sharks are agitated. We're taking a break, and then they don't let you touch them for however long until the shark stops doing that. So like they know the sign. Like there are warning signs sometimes. Not that a freak accident couldn't happen.
That's what I'm
obviously, but
talking about. I am
yes.
always the victim of the freak accident.
But you weren't, and it was fine.
No, I wasn't.
And then you
but-
touched the wet marshmallows.
Oh yeah, stingray.
They're slimy.
They're slimy and they basically feel like wet marshmallows.
That was a very good description, I will say.
Yeah.
That's very accurate.
Yeah.
If you've never
They should use that.
If you've never touched a stingray and you want to know what it's like, just make a marshmallow wet and touch it.
Yeah.
That's a stingray. That's what it feels
It's
like.
not that great.
No.
But
I didn't
oddly,
even
I
make you
wanted to
feed a
bite it.
stingray.
What?
Did you say you wanted to bite the?
Wet marshmallow.
I didn't make him feed them because that even freaks me out. Because like what you have to do is you take the like whatever it
Stingrays
is,
are fucking ugly.
and you like hold it on the bottom with your like 2 fingers, and then it comes over and takes it out of your hand, and that freaks me out because I'm like, what if they like get your fingers?
Right.
But that's why I didn't ask you to do that.
I know, but I
didn't
the
even
logic
like,
is sound.
try. I was like, just pet them. That's it.
And they're also like weird and ugly. Like
Well-
stingrays, if you're like the underside of a stingray with a little fucking mouth and their eye, they're just weird looking.
Oh, I feel like we should like insert the. Haven't you ever seen the stingray that looks like it's smiling?
Yeah, I have. And
Like-
that's even creepy.
Oh, that's cute.
They're creepy.
Okay.
And they killed Steve Irwin.
Well, allegedly.
No, I think that's pretty set in stone.
I'm kidding. What was I gonna say? Oh, and then we did the shark tunnel, which made you a little sick.
Yeah, very motion sick, seasick.
Yeah,
We walked through
like
a
all
tunnel
the, like
surrounded by
water, and the sharks are swimming like above
And
and,
it-
below and beside.
it
and
made me a
I
little
think
queasy.
it was like the way the water looked, like the ripple of the water.
The refraction or whatever. It made everything wonky and I didn't like it.
And then the shark bridge also, because okay, so like it's a net where you're like tightrope walking, and then there's like another net underneath of it.
Hold on.
And that was all
No.
the information that I gave Tony, and he
Right.
was satisfied
So,
with his care
okay,
until
hold on,
he
hold on,
saw
hold on,
the
hold on.
nets.
Hold on. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
This was the description that I was given. You're going to walk on like a tightrope bridge.
Yeah.
And underneath it is a net. Now,
Yes.
when I'm told that, I think when anybody's told that, you're probably thinking, "Oh yeah, like a trapeze artist would have a big net, right? Spanning the whole area." No. What we had was a net that looked like they took it out of the back of a Honda hatchback and they just put it underneath this rope
It's
bridge.
only like your footpath
if
is
I
like,
if I fell off
and
that
the net was,
bridge,
like,
if I fell off that bridge, I'm fish food. Like
Yeah.
I would have fallen directly into a shark tank.
yes.
And the only thing that would have stopped this body was a cargo net knitted by a young Amish boy.
It wasn't Amish.
So
We have no verification on that. That it was
I
made
could
by
tell by
Amish.
the stitching. So
Well, then it was Amish stuff is made.
I know to last.
So you'd have been fine. If
Maybe.
it was made by Amish, you would have been going
Yeah.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Anyways.
That's the description she gave. So we did that, and that was terrifying. Actually, the worst part of that was the small child that was behind me that didn't know personal boundaries and kept stepping on my foot. So here I am having a moment,
a panic attack.
a small panic attack at the, sock strength net underneath me on a tightrope bridge.
Because the bridge is only like wide enough for 1 foot at a time. It's literally like,
Right.
I don't even know, 3 or 4
And I've
inches.
got a 5-year-old who's kind of half freaking out about the situation,
He was just running
stepping on
into you
my
'cause he's trying
heels.
to get out of the
Right.
the
He's just
thing.
that's gonna make me go faster. Like he's like on top of me. And there's a picture of me going because it's like this kid it kept stepping on my foot. And I was so I'm being bothered by this. I'm being bothered by this. And then we had to stop to take a picture, and then the kid's face smushed into my thigh because he walked right into me. I had a
I
little
had the best
face
time of my
imprint.
life.
Yeah, you're over there just loving life, and I'm over here with fucking bloody ankles and 4-year-old face imprint smushed into my ass.
Best time I've ever had.
Yeah, it was fun. It was good.
It was great.
And then we fed. We didn't feed, but we saw the hippos get fed. That was fun.
Yeah.
Joseph likes hippos.
Yeah.
And that's a thing. And yeah, that was fun.
That was.
Yeah.
That was. I mean.
But it's more of a. See, here's the thing: is I always feel sad. I feel sad for animals that are in
Wow.
these aquariums and in these, zoos and things because it was what 145. Like
What, when the hippos got
right.
fed? Yeah.
Okay, so just for a timeline, every day the hippos get fed at 145. Fine. And then, but how much I can't remember. It was bok choy, whatever. But it
That's
was
their snack.
It was
They
how,
like it as a
how many hundreds of pounds of food do they have to eat a day?
I don't
It's
remember.
a crazy amount. So, the trainer coming with a bucket of bok choy, it's a spectacle. It's a show. It's not an actual meal for these hippos. They eat 150 pounds worth of food daily. These 6 sprigs, this is for us. This is for our entertainment.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel weird because the hippo is probably waiting until 145 for that small bit of food.
Well, and you can tell. So like that they do it more than like they do with the hippo feed a couple times throughout the day. Just while we were there, like that was the convenient time for us to see it. But they do. You can tell the hippos know what time it is. Like
Yeah.
their internal
They
clock
wake
is
up.
like because like they were like sleeping, they were doing other things. Like they couldn't have given any care in the world about any of us humans standing there staring into their little habitat. And then as like 140 came and you start seeing some movement, and then as it got closer to 145, they're like getting because there's like at the window where she throws the stuff over, they started already coming over to it, and you're like, they know it's snack time.
Right.
So
And it kind of it does break my heart a little bit because, I'm not the biggest, animal rights activist type person. I wouldn't claim that I am, but it's just something weird about it. There's something weird about this fucking 3-ton animals sitting in front of me, craving that 6 stalks of bok choy and if it was in the wild, it could eat whenever it wants and it wouldn't be stuck in this tank. Same thing with sharks. I don't know the specifics, but do you know how hard it is to keep sharks in captivity? Because they kill themselves. Like sharks, most large mammals, or not mammals, most large,
great whites
aquatic.
can't be kept in
Great
captivity.
whites cannot be kept in captivity. They will kill themselves. They will smash their faces into the wall. That's why I saw I was looking at the sharks and they were all beat up from ramming into things.
I don't know
because they're not used to enclosed spaces. Even if they're in captivity, they're used to the great ocean. You don't run into anything in the ocean. So, it's hard to keep sharks in captivity. It's the same reason it's hard to keep dolphins and other, aquatic creatures because it's hard for them to get acclimated to these tanks. And you see it, like, no matter how big those tanks are, and they were gigantic, but no matter how big they are, it's not the ocean.
Yeah. I mean, and they do have a hammerhead, and they're one of the only, I don't know statistics like nationwide,
Not many,
whatever,
probably.
but I know they're one of few that actually have a hammerhead shark, which is one of the things that I like seeing, because obviously, like you guys know, I have my shark tattoo. I love sharks. Like that's one of my favorite. And but so like yeah, they're one of the only places that I'm aware of that has a hammerhead in the tank.
Yeah. They
And like you said,
as far as I know.
it's a huge tank, and like, but they do. I mean, to your point, they do a lot of things that are spectacle making. Like I told you, like, so I don't know how big their big tank is, but it is gigantic, and like bigger than any of the other ones that I've seen at other aquariums. And but they do make a spectacle of it. So they have like mermaids that scuba dive into the tank at certain times, and then you can go and watch the mermaids swimming with the sharks. And then at Christmas time they do scuba Santa, and Santa is in the tank with the sharks, scuba diving and
I
whatever.
want to see Santa get eaten by a shark.
And if you're 12 or older, you can pay and you can swim with the sharks in the tank. Yeah, I want to do it. That's why I just
No.
was asking you if you would swim with sharks with me, because
Never.
you can do it there. As long as you're 12 or older, you can swim with the sharks there.
No.
The tank that we walked over on the bridge, that's the tank that you can
No.
swim with those sharks.
No, because again, you're okay. You want to jump out of a plane? That's a I'm not going to do it. But I'm just saying that's a personal decision, right? That's you defying death on your terms. Jumping out of a plane, parasailing, hang gliding, whatever, any of those activities. But when you start putting yourself in the way of nature, I think that's stupid. It's like,
what do you mean by in the way of nature?
So
like if I go swimming with sharks,
you're basically tempting nature. You're defying nature. You're not defying yourself and your fears. I mean, I think it would be natural for us to fear sharks as predators, right?
Yeah.
But it's like going in a shark cage. Fucking crazy. Why? Going bear hunting, or being put in a cage with a bear, or a lion, being in a cage with a lion or something. Those things, you are defying the laws of nature.
Yeah.
And saying, "Come get me."
Well,
I can't get behind that.
I think if I were to swim with a shark there at the aquarium.
Plus, I don't trust people.
Right, but like obviously, to continue having it be a spectacle and that they can offer and whatever, they obviously are feeding the sharks. So as opposed to you swimming with sharks in the wild where you have no idea when they last ate, if they last ate, how hungry they are, whatever. In that setting, it's more controlled because you know that they are fed on a regular schedule and they're not fed humans and whatever.
But all
so
it takes is
I know anything can happen, obviously, but I mean that's anytime, anywhere.
Right. I don't think at any time at any place should you tease nature.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like that's more controlled than doing it in the wild, but it still comes with its own, anything can happen and whatever. Yes.
That's why I said if you want to, if you're going to bungee jump, that's a you thing. That's you against yourself. Jumping out of a plane, parasailing, hang gliding, rock climbing, all those crazy extracurricular activities. Those are fine, but that's a youth. You're putting yourself in danger because of through yourself, not through the means of something else. Yeah. So
I get it.
The answer is no. I will not swim.
No,
with
I
sharks.
knew you wouldn't swim with sharks. That wasn't a question that I would have asked.
Just getting me to swim with you is enough of a miracle, which I have. Didn't I?
No, we've never swam together.
We didn't go in a pool or in water in Florida?
No. We were supposed to have a beach day.
Oh, we were supposed to, and it rained and shit.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
You were going to.
I would have.
You were going to. You told me
and those are shark-infested waters.
Yeah, you told me you'd go in the ocean with me, but we did
not.
So
technically, we would have been swimming with sharks.
Sure.
The closest shark might have been a couple miles away. but it's still one big tank.
Sure. One big tank. Yeah.
So that was fun.
Yeah.
I do get a lot of enjoyment. Okay, so I got a lot of enjoyment out of DIY Amish games.
Yes.
I also get a lot of enjoyment out of learning activities. So the aquarium was fun, despite it was heartbreaking for the for the animals. But I like learning and seeing things and nature. You know,
I liked when you played me Happy Birthday on the little kids area.
I mean, it was my rendition of Happy Birthday. You know, you have to pay a royalty if you actually play the.
Well, right.
Yeah, they had a kids area with like where you could like play a steel drum, and there was a big kind of like a xylophone, but not
Yeah.
really. And I played parts of Happy Birthday on it, and that was fun.
I liked it. It was special to me.
Well, and you recorded it, so you'll have it forever.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe next time we see your friends, you could play, embarrass me and play all the songs and things and make me play an organ.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was not pre-planned. So that was just on the fly. We just happened to be dropping Giuseppe off for a sleepover at my friend's house, and they had just acquired an organ, and Tony was the only one that could really play it. So
What can I say? I play a mean organ.
he does. He does. I learned something new. I mean, I guess I could have intuited that you played a mean organ, but I've never seen it before.
Wow.
Now I have.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
And I won at miniature golf with my friends. Tony got to play miniature golf with some of my friends and I.
She sure did.
And I won.
She sure
Tony
did.
thinks that I had a severe birthday handicap in the game. However, that is not the case.
I didn't bring my putter, you know.
Right.
Didn't have my equipment, didn't have my clubs.
Right.
You had a
We
couple
all take-
birthday. You had a birthday mulligan or two.
I had one birthday mulligan, and my friends had mulligans, and it wasn't their
Oh,
birthday.
we're not talking about your friends.
Sure.
Plus, I don't even know what the end score of that fucking game was.
I honestly don't either.
We didn't even look at the scorecard.
I didn't.
We just took his word for it.
Yeah.
Not
My
to
friend's
say-
husband was keeping score.
Not to say that
so
he wasn't honest, but
I have no idea. It felt like I was playing a decent round of
yeah,
mini golf.
it was pretty good. You were
I wasn't like six stroking it.
right.
I didn't have any hole in ones either, though. So.
Yeah. All in all, it was. We managed to do almost everything on
My list.
your list,
Mhm.
which was a worry that we may or may not get to some things, but
Oh no, we had to get to all the things because I pre-bought all the tickets.
well, yeah, that, but we had a couple other things like me eating Scrapple,
Oh, so well,
folks.
and this is a to be continued because I didn't know, but the diner only serves hog maw on Fridays, or we would have gone there on
Folks.
Friday for dinner. But today,
I have to.
I got to treat Tony to the best breakfast he's ever had,
I gotta. Here.
and he got to try Scrapple
So we talked about this on
on a previous
a
podcast.
previous podcast.
Pennsylvania Dutch Foods, yeah.
So why don't you tell what Scrapple is again? What is Scrapple? It's basically
it's a congealed loaf.
No, let me. Don't say that word, please.
Congealed. He
It's-
likes it when I tell him that it's congealed.
Oh, it's coming back.
And it's all the it's basically like a hot dog, but it's served as like a
No.
breakfast item.
What it is when they break a pig down,
Yeah. It's all the leftover parts.
all the
Hence
leftover parts. No.
Scrapple.
All the leftover parts that aren't good enough for hot dogs.
I don't know if it's the parts that aren't good enough for hot. Okay, it probably is.
Yes,
it probably is.
Because if it was, it'd just be turned into hot dog.
This is true.
So whatever they can't turn into hot dog,
Then they mix with some
they
flour.
mix with like flour, cornmeal,
Yeah.
and then
Congeal it.
congeal it, and
I
then
can't even say the word.
and then they fry it off.
Yeah. And fry it up for you.
It tasted like feet.
Yeah.
It
But you put
was.
syrup on it,
Well,
and then it's edible.
that was at the
It's like
waitresses. The waitresses.
I told you. As soon as she asked you if you wanted syrup, I was like, yes, you do.
Yeah, and then she made sure to say, yeah, you need something to cover the taste.
That's what the waitress
That's what
said.
the waitress who's about to serve me said.
That was my favorite part of breakfast, just for the record, was that she's like, yeah, you need something to cover the taste. And I'm like who says that in a restaurant?
Clearly nobody eats the Scrapple, but
Right.
I'm sure the cook was back there going, someone ordered Scrapple? I don't even know how to make this. I've never made it before.
People around here actually do like and eat Scrapple. It's bananas.
Yeah.
Like free will, not just because like I forced Tony to try it.
Okay. So similar. I think it's the same reason why I could eat baloney every day. Now I'm
grow
not
up with it.
correct. I'm not gonna say that baloney and Scrapple are on the same level because they're not. Baloney's a fucking delicacy compared to Scrapple. Like baloney is fillet. But I grew up on baloney, and people will talk shit about my baloney.
Right.
I could eat it I could eat a bologna sandwich, bologna and cheese with mayonnaise on white bread, like Wonder white bread, like bad, awful, pure sugar white bread, every day for the rest of my life, and never get sick of it.
Yeah,
I think it's the same. If you grew up, didn't have, the finest selection of meats and cheeses available to you, and you had to live off of the just scraps and Scrapple, makes sense. You'd make do with what you have, and then you grow up, and then you're like, yeah, I love Scrapple. I used to eat it fucking every day as a kid.
Yeah.
And then I come along and I try your fucking Scrapple, and I almost threw up.
Just for the record, I have never eaten Scrapple prior to today. Like I've known that it existed my whole life and whatever, but like
there was no fucking way I was gonna eat it and you not eat it.
Yeah. So, and I ate it without syrup.
Well, we both.
I did not try it with syrup. I just know everybody that
well,
I know.
you know what?
Everybody that I know that eats it with syrup. So I just knew that if he was going to have it remotely palatable, it needed the syrup. So, however, I tried it without the syrup, and then I promptly used my napkin to spit it right back on out because it tasted like feet. It was disgusting.
It was very feet-like,
so
very
disgusting.
feet forward.
Maybe that's the part of the pig we got.
Could have been the hoof.
Yeah.
Or the hawk, or the what is their ham hocks? I thought it doesn't matter. It was. I tried it first without the syrup. It tasted like fried feet.
Fried feet.
And then I doused it in syrup, ate it. It was still terrible, but it was. If I was down and out and I needed food, I could eat that no problem with syrup. Like it's not my first choice, but it's like it's okay. But oh my god, if you eat that shit without syrup, you're a fucking monster.
Yeah.
No way.
So now,
but I ate a good portion of it.
No, he did. He was a good sport. And it was only like $2. So
yeah,
it's not like.
Well, of course it was. It was eyeballs and fucking pig nails. Of course it was $3. It was $3, and they made $2.95 on it.
It was only like $2.
No, I think it was a little bit more.
I think it was like $2.45 or something. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Whatever it is, it was 90% profit because whatever. It was mostly, there was a lot of cornmeal in it too. Like you could tell because it was like, it was so loose. It didn't hold its shape. Like once you cut into it and that
it wasn't much of a congealed
loaf. That fried crisp outer edge came apart. It was like a runny egg. It was not good.
I might get sick after this just thinking about it.
Yeah.
But now I know that the next time you come, Friday, we have to have hog maw so that you can try hog maw.
So we're going to have the
pig stomach
stuffed with pig parts. A lot of pig stuff.
I mean, it's what we've got. There's a lot of pig farms.
Is it? Is that why?
I'm assuming.
When are we gonna eat some fucking cow delicacy. Did you guys have any like fucking meat delicacies?
I don't think so. Everything's very meat and potato, but like, I
Well,
don't.
her mother made me their version of a pot pie,
Chicken pot pie.
and it
Yeah.
was great. It was really good. It was basically what I know as a pot pie without the pie part.
Yeah, because it's not.
It doesn't have a crust. It doesn't have
Yeah,
a.
it's not the crust pie.
It's the filling, which is the best part.
And then I think she wants to make you like chicken corn soup one time too.
Chicken corn soup.
Yeah.
I'll eat the shit out of chicken corn
It's
soup.
basically chicken pot pie, but with like a little bit more vegetables. And instead of the big bow ties, you have the little ones.
What's the difference? Where's the corn part come in?
Because I said there's more vegetables, like corn and stuff. Like there's more of
Oh.
that in it. And it's like soupier, obviously. It's like runnier. 'Cause
Okay.
It's a soup.
By all means, that sounds
Yeah.
fine.
I think you'll love it because you liked the pot pie just fine.
Yeah. Let's just leave the pig parts out of it.
Yeah, there's no pig parts in this.
Ugh.
But yeah.
So do you have any last thoughts on?
Oh, are we at time already?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Last thoughts. I don't know. I mean, I kind of said like it was.
How do you feel? How does being 40 feel?
Well, so there were some incidences when I was dancing. I got my heel stuck in the little cage thing.
Yeah,
And I
crazy
pretty much broke my ankle.
how that happened.
What?
I said crazy how that happened.
I actually don't know what exactly happened. I just know I was stuck and my ankle.
I don't know. From where I was sitting, I could only see from about your ass cheek, like up. I couldn't see anything below.
Okay, well, I don't know.
Plus, when
but
you're, doing that, I couldn't really see
how'd
anything.
that go again?
You could watch the tape back.
Okay. Anyways, no, so I like the next day my ankle was like broken, like I couldn't like put weight on it. It was no bueno. So feeling the effects of 40 because that's never happened to me before when I went dancing at any other age. So maybe 40 is a little bit more achy than the other years have been to me.
Yeah.
But no, I like I said, like this weekend was really awesome. It was really special to me because also like we said earlier, Tony got to meet some more of my friends, which was cool. Of course, everybody was begging him to move out here, so that they have another cool guy to join the couples group,
The cool guy club.
the cool guy clubs. Yeah.
I am a pretty cool guy. What can I say?
I mean, that's why I married you.
Yeah.
So
Is that why?
one of the reasons,
Oh,
one of the many. So I mean, for a lot of different reasons, like it was a cool, special weekend to me. And then tonight we had birthday dinner with my best friend and her family. So that ended out the weekend
was
on,
fun. I had a good time.
well, I guess it's not really the weekend anymore, but it ended out my birthday on a very high note. I enjoyed it.
Perfect.
Mhm.
All right. Well, we're at time.
Yay.
That's the pod coming to you straight from the
Hotel.
Comfort Inn Suites out here in Pennsylvania. I think next one we'll be doing remote. Unfortunately, because we just couldn't fit in recording.
We ran out of time.
We ran out of time.
To make a second one this weekend.
But we'll do remote. But now Tralana has a wonderful, beautiful camera.
I do.
So,
It won't flicker like last
oh
time.
God, I hope not. Then if it does, we do need to get you a new computer. So yeah, and then after that will be the Penn State game.
I'm excited. So yeah. So I mean, like, you enjoyed all the Pennsylvania things so far?
Yeah.
Minus the Scrapple.
Minus the Scrapple. If we took that out, it would have been the perfect weekend.
I ruined it at the last
Ruined
minute.
that with that Scrapple. It will haunt my dreams and my waking
And your
moments.
taste buds.
Yeah. But no, I loved everything. It was
Now every time you smell feet, you're gonna be like, "Is somebody eating Scrapple?"
yeah.
It's happening.
Well, hopefully I'm not making it my business to smell feet all the time.
I just meant like.
See,
We
is
have
someone cooking Scrapple right now?
we have 3 boys. I think it's inevitable
I don't go anywhere near.
that one of them will
Hip-
take their shoes
I
off
don't-
at an inopportune time. Actually, no, because
I don't go within 5 feet of my children.
Ian in the car whenever that was, the other time, he took his shoes off and all I smelled was like horrible, stinky feet. And this guy,
I can't smell it. So
blessed by his COVID curse, couldn't smell anything. And I was like, what the heck? This is
Yeah.
not fair.
Yep.
So yeah.
You'll have to deal with
But
the foot smell.
if you ever regain foot stink, then you'll be like, Scrapple?
Yeah.
What's
Well, I'll
happening?
let you know.
Perfect.
I'll let you know.
Perfect.
Okay. Well, I'm Tony.
And I'm Tralana.
And that's 2 T's in a pod. We'll catch you later.